wanted to play a cowboy. I'm a New York City kid, man, and nobody's going to let me play a cowboy. But if I write a cowboy for me, they'll let me play it. And so I thought, cowboys, vampires. So I started watching a bunch of westerns, and I had seen it before, but I rewatched the Searchers, John Wayne movie. It was a brilliant movie, and I was just like, wow, that's really cool. Now, what if I take a guy and a kid and put vampires in there? And, yeah, so I ran it by Mickles, and he was like, let's fucking do it. And it happened.
All right, so you did something. I love hearing the New York in your voice here. It's night and day.
Covered it well.
I had Jim on my ass. No, can't say it that way.
Well, cool. I'd love to open it.
In just about every shot in the film, and you narrate it, on screen you really don't say very much. You only have a handful of lines. You read the script, you say, what is this all about? How do you approach that?
I think just by going from the voiceover, thankfully gives a lot of insight into what is going on in the character's subconscious. So really, and that changed a lot through the course of shooting the film. But I really just went by what Nick wrote in there for all of the kind of segues into the new scenes as to what Martin was going through internally, and that just helped me fill in the blanks of what wasn't written. I tried to be, absolutely. Yeah.
Are there any other questions? Sir, the hand up.
Yeah, how many of the sets did you naturally find like they were, and how many did you have to, set up to actually look like that?
I'd say most of the ones we set up. We shot around, we had 2 units for the shoot, one in the summer and one in the winter to kind of stretch the seasons out. But one we shot near Reading, Pennsylvania, where I grew up and went to high school, and so I knew a lot of the areas that looked like bombed out shit, 90% of it. So a lot of that stuff we found. The opening, there's a factory in the first 10 minutes that's just like rubble. That's amazing. That was something that we were looking for something else and stumbled upon that and found that. All the upstate stuff, came back in the wintertime to the Catskill Mountains and shot the second half of the film, and most of that stuff we found too. I mean, what's funny is a lot of the stuff that looks really treacherous of them climbing hills was actually right outside the hotel where we
treacherous.
It was still treacherous. But it was, it was like, come on guys, come outside, walk down the hill. We had the camera set up. So I would say about 80% of it was planned out for those locations. The bus, for instance, was in my girlfriend's driveway up there. And when I read the scene, takes place in a bus, like, fuck yes, we have that. Don't change that. So a lot of it was that kind of stuff. And then just finding stuff naturally in the woods.
The story of how Kelly McGillis gets in this movie.
Me too. I have no idea. It was a really hard part to cast because the schedule was insane and nobody was really excited to do that. And not a lot of agents get that and say like, oh, you want to book summer and winter and not pay anything? And great, let me send it right over. So, and also the first scene, it was written as half nude, running through the woods, running away from rapists. And I think a lot of actresses got it. So actually, the first 12 to 15 actresses that we sent it to, we never even heard back from. And we got to the point where we started shooting and we still hadn't even heard back from anybody. And it was kind of like last call, we got to find somebody, and a list showed up and Kelly's name was on it. And I kind of laughed. 10 years hasn't done a film. This is the one she's going to come back to. And it was very tight. We had 1 day to cast it, and we sent her the script, and I sent this lovely heartfelt letter to her. She actually at the time lived only about 20 miles away from where I grew up, where she'd shot Witness very close by and had come back to live there. And I sent this wonderful letter to her and couldn't wait. And then the next day I got the call that she had come aboard, and I was so excited. And she showed up, and I was like, thank you for reading the letter. And she's like, what letter? But she came on board, and I think she came on with a sense of, she'd never seen a horror movie. We screened in Toronto last weekend, and she left about 2 minutes into it. And I think we won her over during the shoot. But I have no idea what went through her head to say yes.
Sorry.
But not quite like this.
Not quite like this. Aha.
No, not quite.
Good
like
save for me.
I don't really think of this. Sorry, my voice. I don't really think of this as a horror movie. That seems like a really beautiful drama to me, compared to the slasher films that I've been working on.
Yeah, I can see that. Although, you know, there are still vampires.
Yes, they're still really scary, but it's very real to me, you know?
Definitely. Yeah, everything's very real in it, right down to, it's all very feasible. Which is
I don't want to sleep with any of
extra
these
terrifying,
vampires,
yeah.
unlike some of the other vampire movies I've been seeing.
Well, cool. Well, we actually have to kind of wind it down, but I wanted to make sure, will you guys be able to stay for the rest of the festival and see some other movies? Maybe?
Tomorrow?
Yeah?
Hopefully.
Not
We'll be
tonight.
here tomorrow.
You'll be here tomorrow?
Yeah.
Great. Well, please come see everything you can, and yeah, have a blast while you're in
Thanks,
Austin.
guys,
Have a
for
blast at
staying.
Fantastic Fest. Thank you.